And now, the new caribou, the Honorable Sir David, Emperor of Salt Lake City, Sultan of Utah, Spiritual Advisor to Questioning Mormons, the Bard Extraordinaire, Supreme Being, Alpha and Omega. Here's David.
Hello, this is Sir David, the Bard, and thank you for your applause. And you kangaroos, please sit down now. It's okay, sit down, sit down. I know. Anyway, I have an article here today for you, and the Mormons have had their ass kicked about not being Christian, and I understand why. I went to the Mormon church for 50 years before I resigned, and I heard Joseph Smith's name 100 times to every one time I heard about Jesus. And Jesus was somewhat in passing. Joseph Smith, the Mormons know what clothes he was wearing, his shoes, the name of his brothers, his sisters. I mean, you know everything about Joseph. And this guy Jesus was some Jew over there that we don't know much about, but we use his name because everybody likes the Jesus name. So, anyway, been there, done that. Okay, so now the Mormon church, as usual, is having a knee-jerk reaction with their PR department, trying to convince the world that they are Christian. Satan and Jesus are brothers. No other religion dares say that. And the Mormons think that the virgin birth, that the Holy Ghost or Elohim came down with magical penises and impregnated Mary. Other churches go, we don't know how they did it, but you know, the Mormons go, we do, we're into penises. So anyway, they're really overreacting now about trying to get their image to be more Christian. They've taken and they pasted on the top of their buildings, most of them, New England type steeples, to make their buildings look like they are churches. No cross yet, but anyway. Well, I take it back. I think the door of the the Italian temple in Rome has a cross on it, but it's kind of a disguised cross. You'll have to look that up yourself. Anyway, I have an article here for you that if you're a parent, you're just going to shake your head. You're going to just shake your head, okay? This is reported in the Salt Lake Tribune, major newspaper in Salt Lake. I get it down here in Australia, and the person that asked me is Moscow, Australia. I can't think of the other town. Are they close? And the answer is no. Nothing is close here in Australia. You know, kangaroos aren't even close. You got to go way, way out there to see a kangaroo. Okay, and this is today's December 12th, 2012. 8:26 a.m. And it says, Utah's live nativities bring a little taste of Bethlehem. Now, I'm telling you, the Mormons are overreacting, and let me give you the story here. Throughout the night, a number of children walk past the live nativity, uttering the same question: is that a real baby? Now, the Mormon kids are not anywhere near as stupid as the parents. The children go by and go, it's December. It's 37 degrees. Is that a real baby in there? The parents just walk by and go, it's Jesus. It's Jesus. The kids go, holy shit, the baby is going to freeze to death out there. Well, let's see what the Mormons say here. They all, no, it's not a real baby. It is. But the event just is not for entertainment for kids. It's propaganda for the I put this as propaganda for the Mormon Church. It's a way for everyone to get together and do something exciting for the holidays, said a resident with his wife and children there. This year, a married couple, Kim and Brian Forge, and David and Susan Target, Oliver's parents, dressed up as shepherds. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I mean, a nativity scene is a fun thing. But here is the, wait a second, I've lost it here temporarily. Well, let me paraphrase it for you, because Isn't that funny? It's just a one-page. Okay, let's see. Anyway, the baby was 9 days old. Who the hell would take a 9-day-old baby, put it in a horse trough, throw a blanket on it, and go, "It's Jesus"? Now, let me tell you something. I usually don't pull this shit, but I do have a couple of degrees, and one of them is in social work, and God is from BYU. And I'm a mandated reporter. I always have been ever since I graduated as a social worker. Which means if I see or suspect, I don't have to see it, I suspect that there may be abuse going on, I can go to jail if I don't report it. I have to report it as a mandated reporter, just like a policeman, a doctor, a teacher, and then social services has to come out and confirm or deny that there was any abuse. Well, anyway, I'm old. I'm 65, but God, my degree is old. But I think I was taught that a baby that is only 9 days old, that's a baby that's only 3 days out of, well, 3 days in the hospital. That baby is 6 days out of the hospital. And they wrap it. It still has an umbilical cord. If it's a boy, you're still putting a little Vaseline on the wee-wee because he was circumcised. This is a newborn baby in a Jesus, not a musical, just a play. I would report it to social services. I really would. The Mormons are so damn desperate to be accepted as Christians that they're willing to put a 9-day-old baby out there. And yeah, let me go. Oh, I see. I had previous page. Let me go back to the other page here and confirm to you. Okay, here's a picture, and the title is called Utah's Live Nativity Scenes Bring a Little Taste of Bethlehem. I told you that. Okay, here we go. Margaret Pierce had been alive for only 9 days when she landed the role of a lifetime. Baby Jesus. That's not a lifetime role, folks. It's a death sentence for a 6-day-old baby out of the hospital. Now here comes Molly Mormon, who's going to defend that she put her baby out there. Margaret Pierce had lived alive for only 9 days when she got the baby Jesus. She played it like a pro, slumbering angel in a manger Wednesday night, heavily swaddled to protect her against the December chill. Now, let me tell you, I'm here in Australia, and it's 85 right now, but I've read up there, it was, that night, it was like 34, 36 degrees, and here is this newborn baby in a Mormon nativity scene. You know, here I'd go with a doll, folks. I really would. We just knew we would never have a baby at this time, and she asked again. Molly Pierce, 30, of Salt Lake City, playing So We Had to Do It. We see, they feel it. They get that burning inside them when the bishop says, "Can we use your 9-day-old baby?" They go, "Hey, the bishop knows. Jesus talks to him." The kid, they pick the kid up and it's frozen. They go, "Oh, priesthood members, can you come over and warm the baby, give him a blessing?" You know, nothing works. When you use the Mormon priesthood, it never works, and you always blame it on the person, that they're not faithful enough. So how can the baby not be faithful enough? Anyway, it goes round and round with the Mormons. Okay, this was a second time for baby Jesus. Joseph and Mary had to take a shift. Okay. It's hardly unusual this time of the year for otherwise modern churchgoers to transform themselves into robed shepherds, gift-bearing wise men, and holy people. Okay, now, here's what's kind of interesting, folks. Here's what's kind of interesting. As the Mormons are trying to pretend and to put up an image of Christianity, this was done by the Draper Riverview Ward. That's down at the point of the mountain right between Utah and Salt Lake County. It's a nice area, Draper. It's pretty new down there. And one in East Salt Lake, Bonneville, Glen, each December has become a tradition for hundreds of families. Bringing their cameras to see the baby Jesus. lay in tomb. This is supposed to be when he was born. You don't freeze his ass to death and put a rock in front of him. More than 100 people, mostly from nearby East Bench neighborhoods, get involved. Now, choirs sang, okay, and they had a little candlelight thing there. And now, animals are ubiquitous throughout the scenes. How could you let your 9-day-old baby be sat on by a live camel or shit on by a live camel? These are not things I was taught in social work school. Live animals. All right, well, let's see what they did. And live babies. Okay. Shepherds tend a real flock on a hill above the Nativity. So I guess they brought a bunch of sheep in. I hope they didn't take any pictures of those shepherd boys welcoming the sheep, if you know what I mean. A live donkey turns restlessly in a stall near the Holy Family. Jesus. Now you've got a jackass. I thought it was going to be Monson, but it's a jackass real donkey, and he's thrashing in the stall next to this newborn baby. Oh my gosh! And a real camel resting on its haunches greets visitors near the village. A nearby handler, I guess, of the camel. Sirhan, sits under a sign that reads, "Toucheth not the camel. Toucheth not the camel." So they have biblical phraseology to get your hands off my camel. This year, the one-night event attracted 4,000 people, 47 people, despite little advertising, said Jenny, the director. Now, this goes on. Okay. We like to have a real feel of authenticity. It's a 9-day baby. Ah, God, put them in jail. They have no judgment. The physical surroundings are really conducive to having, this event. Okay, now, here's what's kind of interesting, other than a 9-day-old baby being subjected to abuse. Plus, the event is interfaith. Now, Mormons don't usually do anything with anybody else. Cultists called Christianity's Christianity. Well, here they come. Since 2004, several area churches, including Bonneville LDS Stake, that's the Mormon church, and the First Baptist Church of Salt Lake City have united to produce it. In past years, other churches have also been involved. Now listen to the way they're phrasing it, because this is how Mormons don't tell you the whole truth. Tell you a piece of the truth. So it appears this year from these sentences, the event is interfaith. So that means it's more than one faith. Since 2004, several area churches, including Bonneville LDS Stake and the First Baptist Church of Salt Lake City, have united to produce it. Now, it didn't say this year. It says since 2004. It didn't say in 2012 that the Baptist Church is involved, does it? In past years, here's history, other churches have also been involved, including Wasatch Presbyterian Church and St. Ambrose Catholic Church and Our Lady of the Lord's Catholic Church. In past years, not this year. After Romney, and after people know that the Mormons worship Joseph Smith, not Jesus Christ, these churches, it's the kiss of death. It's the kiss of death. They didn't want anything to do with it. Now, I'm paraphrasing that. Somebody may look at this or talk to the director and go, hey, there were some Catholic churches in there, David. Well, I can't verify that. All I can do is take from this article, from the desert, or from the, what is the name of the damn paper? Salt Lake Tribune, that this is what they're saying. It does not sound to me like the other churches have been involved this year at all. Okay, they say there's some non-members that show up and look at this. We wouldn't miss it. We're hoping for the baby to die. I'm just putting that part in. Oh, God. Grandparents come. Okay, it just goes on and on with a little bit of propaganda there. But anyway, if you have a 9-day-old baby that's unemployed, write to the Mormons. They may have a role for him somewhere. Jesus. I'm telling you, as a social worker, I have no problem. I'd walk right over to the director and say, get that baby in the house. That baby is not to be out in 36-degree weather. I don't care if you wrap them like a mummy. There's diseases out here. There's animal shit out here. There's camels that are dangerous to that child. There's a damn donkey over there, a jackass, jumping up and down, and it's only 3 feet away from the baby. Put a doll in there. The adults, they're consensual. If they want to get kicked by a donkey, that's their own business. But I'm a social worker, and my job is to protect children, and that ain't going to fly, folks. And whose baby is that? I want their names, because we're going to have a little interview, if you know what I mean. Every time the church is going to kick your ass, it goes, we need to have a little chat. When the bishop and the stake president used to say, Brother David, the bard, we need to have a little chat. And I would have to go, oh shit, did I leave my baby out there, that 9-day-old? You know, you can't leave a baby in a car in Utah. Ever. I think it's under 10 years old. You can't leave a child in a car in Utah, and they will ticket you. And I'm glad to see that. I'm glad. It's very inconvenient for young parents when the baby's asleep. You got to pick the damn baby up in the back and take it into the restaurant. Years ago, my little girl Jenny acted up in a Paso Robles restaurant, and I just simply took her to the car, turned the car on, air conditioning, put her in her car seat so she couldn't drive the car away. And I think she was 3, 4 maybe, and she just sat there and cried. It wasn't 30 seconds that the police didn't show up and came looking for the parents of that child. And of course I said, no, I'm not the parent, I'm the grandparent. And I was old enough that he believed me, so I got my ass off. So anyway, here you go, a 9-day-old baby just out of the hospital, 6 days, and he or she decided to play the baby Jesus. Thanks.